Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Mr. Adeayo Bet Predict. The channel that gives you guys the best score prediction, betting strategy and betting prediction. In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can make your prediction on second half most scoring half. Actually, this particular strategy, or let me say market, happens to be one of the very rare market that people always purchase because their odd allocation are very high and they carry a lot, or let me say high risk when it comes to predicting second half most scoring half. But there are so many factors that you need to consider, and there are so many strategies that you need to look into before predicting it. The first thing that you need to look into is to look into if probably there are teams that always have first half over 0.5 goals. In the last video I uploaded on my channel, Mr. Diabet, I made a tutorial video on how you can predict first half over 0.5 goals. Please guys, if you are predicting your games on second half most scoring half, actually it happens to be a very common outcome, like common thing in football games. Second half most times goals always occurred at second half. But there are some games that you need to avoid when you want to predict your second half most scoring half. You need to make sure that the games that you are predicting must at least meet the qualification of the over 0.5 betting strategy. Then you go on to make sure that the game you want to predict does not meet the qualification of the first half over 0.5 goals. And also you need to always know the leagues that always score goals most times at second halves. For example, I'm going to make use of a particular match as an example in these particular games, and there are certain numbers of games, or let me say their previous outcomes, that ended up as second half most scoring half. So now the first thing that you need to find out is the league that played second half most scoring half. For me, currently the leagues that I've discovered now is the Spain League 2. That is their second league. That is Spain League 2. Most times, most of their games always ended up as second half most scoring half. Now, to confirm this assertion, we are going to check the last previous games and we are going to conclude on at least maybe if they have 60% or 80% of their last 5 games for both home and away and their last previous meeting together, if most of their games always ended up as second half most scoring half. So I have my league 2 games here, and for today alone I think we have probably 6 matches, so 6 games to be played. So one of the game that I'm going to look into 2 games here probably before we end this video. I'm going to look into 2 games, and one thing I would like to tell you guys before we move on, another risk that second half most scoring prediction happens to carry on is that there are situations whereby the goal scored at first half and the goal scored second half will be even. I'm going to show you some situation in these particular games and process. Now let's start with without wasting much of our time. So the games that I'm seeing here is a sorry if the pronunciation is bad, Eiba and Amura, I don't know sha, Spain words. So this particular game now, I'm going to click on it and check their head to head. Are you getting it? Click on it, check their stats, and let's see if at least in the last 5 games for the home team, for the away team, and together they were able to play second half most scoring half. Now let's check. So in this particular match, the game ended up as 2-1. Okay, the home team lost. The home team lost. So let's check and let's click on it. So the game ended up as 2-1, and okay, the first half ended up as a 1-1. Okay, this shows that the first half in this particular match happens to be the most scoring half. Let's check the next game. This particular game ended up as a 2-0. That is their second game. So you check the first half, at least they must not really score goals in their first half. So unfortunately, they score a goal in first half and a goal in second half. They score a goal in first half and a goal in second half. Let's check the third game. So when it comes to predicting first half most scoring half, you have to consider 80% or 60% factors. Already we lost 40% of possible outcome of second half most scoring half. Now let's check if we are able to get 60% of the home last 5 games as second half most scoring half. Now let's check. So now looking at this match that ended up as 0-2, and if we check the first half very well, you are going to realize that the first half ended up as 0-0. Okay, this particular match meets the requirement for prediction of second half most scoring half. And let's check the past this particular game that ended up as 2-1. We have a game that ended up as 2-1 here and a game that ended up as 5-1. So let's check this. So unfortunately, the first half ended up as 1-1, and definitely the first half happens to be the most scoring half, and this particular game can actually ended up as first half over 0.5, but the complication there is just that it can end up as first half over 0.5 and also first half most scoring half or second half most scoring half. In betting, nothing is always 100%, but in this particular situation, this particular start is highly complicated, so let us avoid it and go to the next game and see. Please try and learn how to avoid games that does not meet the requirements of your analysis. So let's check Andorra, the match between Andorra and Abbas City. Abbas, sorry, the name is kind of complicated. um, okay, let's check the stats. They are head to head, and let's see. So for the home team, which is Andorra, in this particular game, they played 1-1, same as this place. So we are going to check both first. So in this game that ended up as 1-1. So I told you guys about one thing about the implication of second half most scoring half, and the reason why I said it is one of the highly risky strategy that we know. But one good thing about it is that you can be getting like two odds from it if you are predicting second half most scoring half. Two odd, just one game. Two odd, three odd sometimes. Now, in this situation, we have the first half as 1-0, and the same thing as the second half as I think the second has to one goals, which is 1-1. So it is a draw and your game has lost. That's it. So let us check the next game. At least let us see if this particular start we meet at least 80% or 60% of their last 5 games, ending up as second half most scoring half. So in the first half of this particular game, also the first half ended up as a 0-1, and definitely it's a draw. They score a goal in first half, they score a goal in second half. Now the only hope that we have left in this particular start is to make sure that the home team start ended up as a 60% as a second half most scoring half. So in this particular game that ended up as a 0-2, let's say if we are able to get second half most scoring half there. Okay, fortunately this particular match ended up as a second half most scoring half, because in their first half the game ended up as 0-0. Now we have one. Let's check the next. So this next one that also ended up as a 0-2. Let's check it too. So the first half ended up as a 0-1, and the second goal was scored at at the second half of the game. So one thing I'll just say that the process. Let me briefly explain the process so that we won't waste our time looking for games that meet the requirement. There is always stress in predicting second half most scoring half, but this is a simple terminology in it. Let's assume that you want to predict the match between Andorra and Abbasid. Let's say you want to predict it. Just what you just need to do is just to make sure that in the home game, the last 5 games of the home team, you must make sure that you are able to get out of the last 5 games, at least you must be able to get the last 3 games that ended up as second half most scoring half, and for the away team too, you must be able to get at least 3 games out of the last 5 games that ended up as second half most scoring half. And lastly, they are head to head. Yeah, they are head to head, whereby you are going to be checking and look into uh at least 3 games that ended up as second half most scoring half. It's a very simple thing and it's a very simple start Just look for percentage that is above 60, that is above 50%, which is 60% and 80%. The last 5 games must ended up as 80% or 60% of their last 5 games, at least of their last 5 games that ended up as a second half most scoring half. It is very simple steps. Please, if you have any question concerning this particular strategy, please kindly drop it, because looking for second half most scoring half is not something that is very easy. It's not a strategy. It's not something that is easy. It takes a lot of times to look into games and the stats, and not all games will meet the requirements, and you need to be disciplined when it comes to avoiding games that does not meet the requirements. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.